Alright, hey folks, let's slide this volume down a little bit so it's a little less intrusive. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear the grooves. An easy fit. There we go. And let's drop that. Hey guys, what's up? I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, I publish them online, and we're creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're creating an Eberron Spelljammer Kaiju Bastion Campaign using the Spelljammer combat exploration mechanics that I published on DMsGuild, along with the new mechanics that we're designing for the Mecha Kaiju expansion, Spelljammer Kaiju Constructs. So this is building Mecha that currently are 20 feet in size, and eventually Mecha and fightercraft generally are up to 50 feet in size, anywhere from 10 to 50 feet in size, while vessels tend to be more than 50 feet up to 500 feet in size. A major spelljamming helm can power anything up to 500 feet in size. A minor helm can only power things up to 50 feet in size. The 50-foot scale also works with Descent into Avernus. If you want to use the vehicle rules that we have in the book for land vehicles, it has you can use all the rules that are in there, except that it's limited to each move that you take can turn up to 90 degrees. So if you wanted to flip a 180, you would use a move action and then dash action and then keep moving. So that's a little bit more flexible than what the boat rules are in Saltmarsh, but otherwise all the scaling and movement mechanics, all the interactions, coasting, pacing, all that stuff, it all works. So that's just the only exception. So we're building mecha that are running around in that are human-shaped machines that you pilot by sitting in the Spelljammer helm the way that I envision. Hold on, let me give you some documentation stuff here. First off, thanks for showing up and sticking around and watching the stream. If you find today fun, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notification when we are live in the future. Here's a bunch of books that I've already published that are on the DMs Guild. Here is the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book that I made mention of here earlier. If you were to click on that, it will pop open DMs Guild, which would then allow you to pop open the preview. You click that and it'll pop open the whole book. If you actually decide to buy it, there's 120 assets, all the ship tokens, everything for Light of Zaraxis that you need, including all the maps and the system stuff. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. So ship like a ship tracking sheet, like a ship character sheet, essentially like a stat block sheet for you to fill in if you decide to create your own mecha, which we or your own spaceships, which we provide you, spelljamming ships that we provide you. In here, the mecha book is an expansion of these mechanics. Where there, let's drop down to here's a bunch of sample ships. These are vessels at the 50-foot scale. Like a flying fish is 125 feet long, I think. So it fits into at the 50-foot scale, a 3x3 space is huge. Sure, it's 150 feet by 150 feet, 3x3 at the 50-foot scale. So a 125-foot flying fish is going to fit inside of a 3x3 space at the 50-foot scale. Fighter craft are smaller. These are at the 5-foot scale, like an elithid cuttlefish, which we included for the fun of the adventure of it. Are gargantuan, like 4x4 at the 5-foot scale, 20-foot craft that are piloted by elithid, running around. And the way that we have the machines basically work in Spelljammer is when you focus on the helm, which is like a light form of concentration. A mild form of concentration that if you take damage, you can have your concentration disrupted and lose power on the helm until you take a bonus action or action to focus again on the piece of machinery. So it's like concentration effects for magic items that or equipment that don't require you to have any kind of spellcasting ability to use them. You just have to apply yourself to it, and it stays active. You can concentrate on a spell at the same time as you can focus on an object, and you can focus on as many objects as you are within, adjacent to, or occupying the same space with. So like you can, like an Eldritch Cannon, a Helm, and an Orrery Station, all three of those things can be focused on at the same time if they're all consolidated into one space, like in the Cuttlefish here, or like on this Goblin Arrow, you could swap out this Harpoon Flinger with an Eldritch Cannon. So you have your Spelljamming Helm, your Eldritch Cannon, and an Orrery is built into the Helm with this system. So you can focus on all three of those things at the same time, but if you take damage, you would make a concentration check like normal. And if your concentration, if you fail concentration, then you lose focus on the equipment that you were implementing. So you then have to use actions and bonus actions to refocus on all the pieces of machinery so that you can take command of the ship again and fire the magical weaponry and track things through space with the Orrery and stuff like that. But having said that, I just am making the point here that when you sit in the chair, you become, it's almost like wild shaping. You become the ship. You can move, grab things, move around on the ground if you have legs, swim, underwater if you have a sealed environment that won't flood and drown everybody, or if you're Sawagan, go for it. Yeah, so you can fight with melee weapons at the 50-foot or 500-foot scale, depending on what size of a craft that you're using. But it's really easy to then extrapolate from that. Like here we have a spider, so you can like fight like a spider. You can fight like a squid cuttlefish thing. You can fight like a scorpion. You can fight like a giant spider. Squid, fight like a squid. Hammerhead ship. Here's the Theurgy, the Illithid Nautiloid, which again fights like a squid. Dragon, the Damselfly. Yeah, these are all ships that the pilot basically animates and then operates at the 50 or the 500-foot scale, depending on what the adventure is, and basically move in combat and melee and all this stuff that you do like you would at the 5-foot scale inside of a dungeon, except it's bigger creatures, bigger scale. So Kaiju and Mecha typically scale up to 50 feet in size, and Kaiju could be thousands of feet in size. So if you get something that's more than 200 feet, you probably want to get a spelljamming vessel involved, like some scorpion ships could take it on, or squid ship would be a good option if you have it. To fight Kaiju like other Kaiju, you basically become Kaiju size. So the mechanics of the system is building out rules for you to operate spelljammers, to operate these fighter craft and these mecha suits the same as you would utilize them in Spelljammer, except instead of being an animal shape, you're a person shape, which means you can pick up giant-sized weapons and fight giant-sized creatures with it at the same scale, in a relative scale to each other, just like you would fight in a dungeon at the 5-foot scale.
Hey, what's going on, Steve?
It's good to see you. So that's the core of what this system is, and you can find that linked here. Here's the campaign workbench that we're working on today. Click that, you'll see it again here. This is the Eberron Spelljammer Kaiju Bastion Campaign that we're talking about here. And let's fold this up because I don't need it right now. But I'm going to keep the Spelljammer book on tap here in case we do need it. So we'll drop that out of the way. And then we have the other thing, which is the Bastion Campaign. And the Bastion Campaigns is taking the concept of Bastions from Dungeon Master's Guide 2024. And yeah, a lot of spider ship. It's so fun. So fun. The Bastion Campaign takes the concept from the Bastions that are now in Wizards of the Coast's Dungeon Master's Guide 2024, but instead converts it into a sort of like a hex crawl. When you go from one ahead of time, different random stuff that the adventure that the heroes could encounter, like they could find wolves or an owlbear or hobgoblins making camp, or a dragon flies overhead, or there's been an eruption of some sort underground that's created a gash in the land that's now leading down into Kyber, or however you want to do it. But there's the hex crawls are you don't know what's in the next hex, so you go from this hex to the next hex to see what's there to fight, to explore, to exploit, to use for magic, whatever it is that you're doing. But you're going through this hex crawl, basically just looking, you're exploring, you're finding what's out there, and you're conquering the land. The way that this Bastion campaign is structured is every Bastion turn, which is a week, new events happen. You roll the Bastion die to see what the event is. And then the orders that you issue to the Bastion are ability checks. And if you fail the ability check, it creates a complication that's preventing you from completing that order. And it's going to be themed around whatever the event of that Bastion turn is. So if there's like, if like a bunch of monsters start sieging your fortress, then if you have a complication in, say, making magic armor that you've been attempting to build this time, maybe it's because the hobgoblins that are attacking your fortress, maybe they used a siege weapon that dealt enough damage to actually damage the workshop you were building the armor in. So you can't continue with the armor until you get rid of the bugbear threat. Otherwise, they're just going to keep hitting you with rocks and tearing your fortress down. So you got to go resolve them before you can get back to work. So if you resolve the complication, the order that you issued continues or completes as though you had passed the ability check. So you never really fail. It's always yes, but. Like it's an entire campaign built around the world, structured into yes, but situations. You decide what the order is that your Bastion is equipped to, well, whatever your Bastion is equipped to handle, you issue an order that the facilities can carry out for you. And if you keep succeeding in your die rolls, then you can just have to, every week you can issue new orders so you can continue through a campaign on a week by week basis. And here, let me stop this. There, I got a timer going to try to keep me on track. So we're building communities in space for the Spelljammer campaign. I forgot to open up my map. But mostly we're going to be focusing on creating the settlements that we had already started with in Eberron. We're now working on the final settlement, which is... hold on. This was the inventory that's on the Dwarven Citadel that the team is commanding. This is the 14th episode of me streaming this, so there's a lot of backlog of like stuff, but the capital of this region is called Capital Rock. Super original, I know. Let's crack this open. Kaiju Constructs Spelljammer. Wapa! There we go. Okay, so let's here's the 10,000 miles space that the hometown occupies. These are the 6 different locations that have populations. Most of these rocks in this clean air strip are capable of sustaining life, but these are the 6 asteroids that actually have communities growing on them. And we've already fleshed out all the communities on all 6 of them, except for the central one, which is called Capital Rock. It is it's an actual town. Like there's a hamlet over here. If it has a rank of 1, here's the location, here's its rank. So the Cove is first rank, which is a hamlet. Over here is second rank, which is a village. This iron mine, this is, I think, Crag Falls, that's also a village. This is a hamlet over here. This is a village, but it's about to become a town. And this is a town. Like this is like 100 people away from leveling up in rank to becoming a town. So it goes hamlet, village, town, city, metropolis. And those are your 5 ranks or sizes of communities, because it's all built on the 5 rank system of proficiency bonuses, half cast or progression, 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. The proficiency dice from the 2014 DMG proficiency dice are D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, 1 to 5. Instead of having a static proficiency bonus, there's a variable. So when you're commanding teams of people to carry out orders for you, there's variables that go into not only the task itself, but also working with your comrades to accomplish the goal. And that is represented by the Bastion die or the proficiency die. That proficiency die represents the narrative of how well your team worked together to achieve this task. We use that in Spelljammer with the siege weapons that we fire, the reload score to automatically re-equip and reload and ready for another attack during your attack action by commanding crews of people. if when you make your attack roll with a siege weapon, you're making a command check, which is a normal attack roll, but instead of using your proficiency bonus, you're using the proficiency die. And that represents how well your team of siege engine operators coordinate aiming, firing, and reloading the weapon for another command to fire in the same round of combat. Because they have action economy too. They all have movement, they all have bonus actions, they all have reactions, and they all have just standard actions. And depending on what their CR is, they've got multiple attacks per round. So if you convert all that into action economy, that means like if you use your action and a bonus action, you could aim and fire a loaded weapon, and then with your reaction, you could reload the weapon, and then when you have more action economy available, you can fire that weapon again. So that die roll represents how well your team is working together, and if you hit attack roll, you could miss with the attack or hit with the attack, mostly based off of what the D20 is going to do. But the command die that you're using as your proficiency bonus, that die roll is going to determine whether your team worked efficiently enough together to reload and automatically fire the weapon again, so you can attack with that same siege weapon more than once during a round of combat. And using that same idea, the Bastion die or the proficiency die in the DMG 214, we're using that in the Bastion system to create more variables, and the D20 is representing the execution of the task, and the proficiency die, the Bastion die, is representing how well your hirelings coordinated together to execute that task. So when you roll the check, it's like, I want to make magic armor this week. It's going to take me 3 weeks to build it, so let's get started. So I issue the order to start building the magic armor, and then I'm going to make my ability, my Bastion check to see if I hit the target number, say DC 20, to make, like, say, half plate armor. It'll take me 3 weeks to make that if I have like a first rank or a second rank blacksmith shop or an armory. So I issue that order to the armory or the black shop and blacksmith shop, and it has a it'd be a difficulty of 20 for that level of like for that value of material to be that difficult. So I'd have to hit a DC 20. So if I rolled like say a 15 on the D20 and then a 6 on the Bastion die, then the only reason they were able to accomplish the task is because the team worked well together. The D6 that they rolled on the proficiency die. If I had rolled, say, a 6 on the proficiency die and only a 1 on the D20, I'm going to fail that task. But my team worked together great. So the failure was in executing the task, not in the team's coordination. So you have like this kind of double variable. It's almost like fear and hope in... You could easily use the fear and hope mechanics in D&D if instead you use the proficiency die, and then depending on the rank of the threat that you're facing, probably based on the tier of play that you're at, 1, 5, 9, 13, 17th level, that can determine the die roll that you need to not have fear. So like you could succeed at a task, like at 13th level, that's 5th rank, that's like +5 proficiency, that's a D10. It also means it'd be like a 4 + 1, like your proficiency bonus equals your fear hope chance. So when you make that die roll, you're making a normal ability check or a normal attack roll with that die roll that keeps changing. And as long as the proficiency die keeps rolling above your proficiency bonus, you are performing that task with hope. But if you fail, when you make your check or when you make your D20 test, when you do a D20 test, and whether you succeed or fail, if the result is lower than your proficiency bonus, then you succeeded that task with with fear. Is that it? Is it hope and fear? Yeah. So there you go. That's the mechanic. And then you can add in any number of variables. Like if you're like, it's kind of like bloodied. Like when you make an attack against this creature and you do so with fear, make a saving throw or gain the frightened condition. Whether you hit them or not, when you attack this creature with fear, meaning you make the attack roll and you roll below your proficiency bonus, now you're afraid and you have that problem, that complication that you have to deal with. So you can easily incorporate the hope-fear mechanic into D&D as normal and still be able to use advantage by stacking up D20s. So that's I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't know why that was important to me to share, but somebody must have needed to hear that because I certainly was inspired to say it. So I'll probably make a separate video just to point that bit out. But that's the kind of mechanical design work that we do. So we're going to flesh out Capital Rock, and we're going to use the Bastion Campaign document that we have here. For those that are interested, it's a read-only document right now, but it's literally right here. This will be on the DMsGuild eventually. One of the reasons why I want to run this campaign is because I've been using this Bastion system on my home table for a while, but I wanted to make a playtest team to build a campaign around, not only to test the Kaiju mecha mechanics because they're fun. I've used them before, they work. I just want to make sure that they work with anybody that looks at them, that makes sense to everybody, and all the playtesting stuff. But I want to run the Bastion campaign because I want the players to be able to decide what the complications mean. Like if there's supposed to be like some sort of bandits that are creating a blockade that's preventing your supplies from getting traded when you issue the trade order. I want the players to have the ability to collaborate with me as a DM and say, who are these bandits? What do you think their goals are? And they're blocking your trade, so you have to deal with them somehow, whether you issue an order to chase them away or the players make an adventure out of it. In either case, they need to be dealt with. So part of the idea is to let the players take the reins of, like, I know the general structure of the place and overarching goals and stuff that's going on in the world. I'm building that stuff as a DM, but I want them, when we're doing the Bastion turn and we're making our ability checks to succeed or fail, again, if you failed the check, it creates a complication, and we randomly roll what that complication is. So I don't know what the complication is until if you fail either, because you're telling me what you want to issue as orders. So great, let's see if you succeed or not. So we roll at the beginning of the Bastion turn to know what's going to happen to the Bastion during that turn. What successes and failures are they going to have? What's going to proceed or what's going to create a complication that then becomes the adventure of the week that we play through. So it's a month-long like each Bastion turn is a week in game, but in session it's going to be 4 sessions, maybe 3. We'll see how many it takes to shake out. But if there's like a lot of complications, then the team could spend time resolving these different complications as characters, or if they're wanting to tackle just like one specific task, then all the other complications could be resolved by issuing additional orders to your hirelings to go narrative. So if it's just a die roll, it won't really mean anything to you as a player. It's just the DM barking at you a lot and make die rolls and success or fail. If the players get involved, when the die roll fails, a complication occurs. We'll randomly roll what that complication is, and then the players will build the narrative about who those bandits are, where are they at, what are they trying to achieve. And then I'll take those ideas and then, okay, let's run it. And then we'll build that scenario. And if the players don't want to be involved, they'll just send off NPCs to resolve it with another Bastion check. Success or failure. Failure means it grows in complication and starts to spiral out of control. Like those scouts never came back. What happened to those guys? It's like, fuck. We got it. Well, we got to go figure it out. So let's go chase them down. And for some reason, Epidemic isn't automatically playing music for me. Yeah, shuffle is active. Okay, cool. So we're creating the different important structures inside of the community for us to be able to have the foundation of everything. So like we know what's basically in Capital Rock. We know its population. We know its rank. We know what kind of structures and buildings are common in this town. They have a lot of gardens and greenhouses because of all the crops that they're harvesting for food, along with wood and wood material. So they have menagerie, library, sanctuary, lifestyle, menagerie, which is like exotic animals, an observatory. The greenhouse and the garden are mostly processing crops, but they're also harvesting forests right now, wood from a forest that's on the asteroid where Capital Rock is located. But they aren't processing it. So I'm seeing that we have a gap there. So I'm going to actually replace this barracks with a guild hall, because a guild hall has woodworkers and all sorts of stuff like that. I could also put in a workshop, but this place just produces lumber. It doesn't specialize in manufacturing it. So there could be plenty of woodworkers in this community of 4,000 some odd people, but these are just like these are just facilities that are specifically invested into the community. And then on top of that, there's specific structures in like unique structures in the town. On top of, like, we know there's a library, we know there's a sanctuary, we know there's a menagerie. There could be multiple observatories, but we know there's at least one. So that's kind of how the town is laid out in general. But each town has specialized, unique bastions, which are structures unto themselves. Like here we have in Crag Falls nearby, we have Hunter's Lodge, which is the governing bastion of Crag Falls. It's a lodge that's basically been built out to be a sort of citadel, and it's the commerce and political hub of the village now. So it has these facilities, which are similar to the facilities that the whole town has. So I mean, the town is like, they have a workshop, like that's the business. It is in this town, this over there, that is the workshop where like city stuff is done. Like this, like that is a city-owned workshop with government employees that create the stuff that the city wants to have produced for the community. Meanwhile, Hunter's Lodge has a smithy unto themselves, so they can produce their own things for their own people, or special requests to the community, or help the city overall create a smithy. So this is the governing structure, but there's also independent stuff, like Polly's Potion Factory. It has a ton of libraries in it. It has multiple libraries that it can be issued multiple orders each week to craft magic potions. So this place is like if Polly's goes down, the team is going to have a hard time finding healing potions for their characters until Polly's Potion Factory gets back up and running. So it's an independent place that the team could decide to invest interest into to expand, because they become potion junkies. So they want to expand Polly's Potion Factory to have more time at available to them. So they can advance that and issue orders to use the Empower order to create minor healing potions, which is a gold cost, and you can produce so much gold per bastion turn depending on what rank of a laboratory you have, and blah blah blah. So we're creating these unique structures, and since we've already fleshed out what Capital Rock is all about, now we get to create the bastion that is the actual Capital building, like the administrative building for Capital Rock. So that's where we're at right now. If that's been, hopefully that's enough soliloquy for me to intro you into what it is that we're doing here. So let's see. So what we're going to do is, the way that we do this is we have a random table here in the Bastion campaign that we've been building out. And if we get down to the actual facilities, we'll see that there are 30, there's more than 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20, that's 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 34. So there's 34 structures total. And you'll see that they have different ranks. So a third rank facility or third rank community can get access to a crypt, but not before then. Can also get a greenhouse, but not before then. Like the observatory clicks in at third rank. So once you have the size of a town or larger, you can have an observatory there. You have to be a fifth rank. You have to be a metropolis to have a planar bridge for the community. But you could have a wizard's tower, a fifth rank wizard's tower, could have a planar bridge inside of its facilities for private use, of course. Warlocks, shout out, what up? But, what, Bob's your uncle? Something like that. But like anyone can have an arcane study. Anyone can have an archive, because those are available at first rank. A smithy is available at first rank. Most of the mundane stuff that you, like a pub, first rank. It's not until you get more and more exotic that the rank starts to rise, where your characters become more like superheroes, unnatural, like supernatural creatures. So now we want to go through I need to build a random table for 3rd rank, so that's what we're going to do right now. Good. Okay, so that is, we are working on 3rd rank here. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3. If it's in 2nd rank, it's in 3rd rank. So I just have to add 3rd rank. So 4, 5, here's number 6. 7, oops, my numbers are off. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, shit. I apparently did this wrong. 9, nope. 9, okay. 2nd is fucked up, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Like really, really fucked up. So let's try to do number 3. 6, 7. Oh, well, it looks like I had number 9 there. 9, and then this would be 10 and 11, 12. There we are, back on track. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And I'm going to fix this. Eight, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to fix this one real quick because it's bugging me. 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, almost done. Yeah, okay, so we have a number from 1 to 30. It's 1 to 27 for 2nd rank, is that right? It's 26. What did I do wrong? There's got to be a glitch in here. Looking for it. Looking for it. Okay, it looks like it was 27, not 26. So that would be 40. It'd be 3d6 plus 1d12. That'll take us to a total of what is that? 3. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not 3d6. Yeah, I want to get to 27. So 3d6. That's 18 plus 12 is 30 minus 3 is 27, and I use 4 dice minus 3 is 1. So a range of 1 to 18 plus 12 is 30 minus 3 is 27. That is an accurate die roll for 2nd rank. 3rd rank roll, it's we have a total of 30 facilities, so it's a d20 plus 2d6. So that's a maximum of 32 minus 2 equals 30. 3 dice, 1, 2, and 3. Minus 2 equals a minimum of 1, so a range of 1 to 30 is going to be a d20 plus 2d6 minus 2. So that's how you build these things. The number 5, there's a total of 35, so we can figure out number 5. I'm going to ignore that. That's off task right now. Let's just get back to work. We'll get there eventually. We'll flesh them out. But okay, so here we are. So the reason I did that is because we want to flesh out the unique bastion, and we don't know what the capital is yet. So let's jump in here and grab this information, which we know is going to be accurate. This is going to be X, which is going to be 3rd rank. We don't know what it's going to be. Governing bastion of Capital Rock. We don't know how many bastion points it has yet, but we know it has to be 3rd rank as a government, and 3rd rank for a settlement. The settlement is a facility, so the town, a town is a 3rd rank settlement, and to govern a 3rd rank settlement, you have to have 3rd rank as a settlement. So that's why you have 3rd rank here, and then the government has to be the same or higher rank as the settlement. Otherwise, that government doesn't have enough infrastructure or authority to be able to govern the settlement. So you might have a town-sized population, but a government that's only capable of managing a village-sized population. So that means that there's going to be a whole bunch of people that aren't being governed properly. That can create a rival government, like a subsect, like a rivaling set of laws and norms and disposition inside the community that might be at war with the other government that's inside that location. Yeah, like Minzo Baranzan, for example, the home of the Spider Queen, that could be considered a bunch of rival territories. All the matron houses that, like, there's like what, 8 matron houses in Minzo Baranzan. Each one of them is their own bastion, overseeing their own segment of the cavern environment that they're inside, like the geode that they're inside of, right? It's broken up into 8 different houses. And so if one house destroys another house, it takes over its population and control. But if there's too many drow in the conquered house to overwhelm the population cap of what that winning house is, like it hasn't grown its infrastructure to be able to actually eat all those surviving drow, then they're going to have civil war inside of those 2 communities, still battling. Even though the matriarchy fell, they aren't complicit, and they're going to rival that other house. So you could build a Minzo Baranzan campaign using this system where the team is in charge of one of the houses, and then all the other 7 houses are against you, or like maybe form alliances or whatever. But you can use the system to create those structures as ability checks to oppose each other, where the team can zoom in and take action at any point on any order or any side plot or whatever's going on. So you can be as involved or disconnected from the communities as players as you want, or you can dive in and take ownership of how these communities are developing and dive in even further, look at individual shops if you want. There's no depths of rabbit holes that you can't dive through and expand into with the system. So it's up to you to decide how far down the rabbit hole do we want to go. So my idea is to maybe give them like one of the settlements, if they're interested, that they want a resource like magic potions, for instance. Well, then you should take over overseeing the order that Polly's potion factory is doing, or like have partial ownership. So you can issue 1 or 2 orders to it out of, like, say, the 4 orders that it can be issued. You can decide for 2 of them until you take more and more responsibility of it. But they're like, they might be interested in the Druid's Kandori farm, or the Scaver Cove, where where all the exotic coral reef wildlife, wild space life is at. Or you might want to take over the Electrum mine or the Iron mine. There's a whole bunch of little things going on in these communities that are fun to play with, but the overall theme is you protect all of them from kaiju and pirates and space monsters so that they can live and be productive, and as a result they feed you resources so that you can advance your own Dwarven Citadel as a bastion. It's a giant 500-foot chunk of rock that is large, that is pushing the maximum size that a spelljamming helm can operate. So it's this massive boulder with a whole bunch. It's basically a flying fortress with a bunch of weapons on it, it is its own bastion, the same as all these other communities are, except it's just like one flying fortress full of weapons and a hangar bay where the mecha deploy from, which is the kind of combat that we would expect the players to engage with on a weekly basis. What's your monster of the week, and what's the complications that we're facing? So there's going to be a variety of different activities at the mecha spelljamming scale, as well as at the person scale, at the 5-foot scale, to interact with exploration, investigations, dungeon delving, like asteroid rocks and stuff like that to fuck around inside of. But we can operate at all these different scales depending on what the complication is that rolls up with the different things that's happening in the community, creating this monster of the week, or like Scooby-Doo adventure of the week sort of scenario. So that's what we're doing. So every bastion turn, the team is going to get one additional bastion point to start increasing or adding more facilities to the Dwarven Citadel. And meanwhile, they're defending all the other places from taking damage. So, yeah. So let's get back to it. We don't know what the bastion is yet, so right now we're going to roll that d20 plus 2d6 minus 2 to determine what 2d6 plus a d20 minus 2. So we know for a fact it has to have a government facility, and it has to have the settlement facility, and that's going to eat up a bunch of points right off the cuff. But let's find out what kind of facility, like how did this place start off as? What was it originally before it became the governorship of Capital Rock? And the answer to that is 14 plus 6 is 20 minus 2 is 18. So let's tool down our list of facilities. And it's a sacristy. So the original use of Capital Rock's building was, and we'll put 3 points into it because it was their primary source, sacristy. Let's go look at what a sacristy can do. That will help guide us in what the flavor and tone of this place is at. So let's see what a sacristy can do and how that's going to be useful to the team, and then build on it from there. Like Glen Falls, yeah, Glen Falls. It's primarily a druid sanctum, so it's like a druid's grove where you do all the druidy stuff. Sacristy, here we go. Once per day, when a character finishes a short rest in the sacristy, you regain an expended spell slot up to level 5. Okay, that's a great. This is just something that just you benefit from it. That's not a downtime activity because it's a once per day thing. It's something you can do repetitively as often as you please, basically. So that'd be considered a facility benefit. If it's something that requires an entire bastion turn for your character to do, that is a downtime activity. And then orders are like downtime activities that you give your hirelings to do as an ability check. And if your character wants to use their downtime activity to help their hirelings carry out that order, then you will use your ability check and add the bastion die, kind of like a bardic inspiration die. So you have all these hirelings helping you. They're going to add their die plus your proficiency bonus, just like you would if you were a bard. If you got bardic inspiration, it works the exact same way. So if your character spends their week in downtime helping the facilities execute an order, the likelihood of you succeed increases substantially because a character is involved. This is the downtime. Like the wizard needs to research a new spell. Great. I'm going to go help build that golem. So I'm going to add my ability check into that golem's production and just absolutely spike it. So anyway, there you go. So and then you can issue the craft order to create non-magical items up to the value of the rest of the rank, which would be up to 4,000 gold in value in a third rank. So its first rank is common magic, uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary. 5 ranks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Costs for each rank of uncommon magic items are, common is 100 gold, up to 100 gold. Uncommon is up to 400, 4,000, 40,000, 200,000. So, and once you get to 2,000, like if it's something like that, and that's how much gold worth of material they can produce on a weekly basis, basically, or whatever the time frame is. The time is variable depending on the rank. Like I think legendary items are measured in seasons. So it can produce 200,000 gold pieces of magical empowerment per season, which is 3 months, or basically 13 weeks. There you go, which is 13 Bastion turns. So if you're gonna you'll be 17th level characters, and you bashing out a legendary magic item for 3 months just basically means that the DM gets to make Bastion turns for all the enemy organizations and shit that they've got going on in the world. So when you finish that magic item or whatever, you can now roll back out into adventuring with this new equipment, but the world has evolved an entire season while you did that, because you spent your downtime in your Bastion building that legendary item with your workshop gnomes. So that's the idea there, and it powers creating magic items. So this place was primarily a sacristy at first. So let's look at the Eberron gods of the sovereign host. Get out. Thank you. Okay, the 9 sovereign. There we go. So we'll roll a. We have Omitar on the one of the asteroids. I forget which one, but where the iron mine is at. It had a sacristy that was devoted to Ovitar, because there's a lot of dwarves in this society, in this community. So I'll roll a D10, and if the answer is 9 or 10, it'll also be Onatar. So 1 to 8 will be a different, and then that 9 or 10 will be. So it kind of we're kind of stacking the deck a little bit in favor of Onatar in this community. So we rolled a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dol-Ra, the sovereign of sun and sacrifice. She represents wisdom in battle and is a patron of those who seek justice, fight with honor, and make sacrifices for others. Dol-Ra. How about, so we'll call it Dol-Ra's Bastion. Bold. I don't know why you're not black. I think it should be black in color. Whatever. Let's up it to what? 12? $11. Thank you. And let's grab this. Let's grab that footnote about Dol-Ra for reference. Let's do that again. Let's get rid of the formatting. Okay, governing Bastion of Capital Rock. It's 3rd rank, which means it'll have anywhere from 21 to 30 points. If it has 31 points, it has expanded in rank to city status. If it drops below 21 points, its capabilities erode to that of a village. So I'm going to roll a d10, and then we're going to add 20 to the result, and that'll be how many Bastion points that Dol-Ra's Bastion has specifically. I rolled an 8. An 8. Is that an 8? Yep, 8. So that's 28 points. Did my music stop again? Kickstart that hard. Oh my god. Hi guys. There's a lot of people hanging out with me. God bless you all. I guess this is interesting. Again, there's a whole bunch of people here now. Let me say thank you. And this is the workbench that I'm working on. Like, this is literally the document that I'm working on here right now. This Bastion Campaign book that I'm using with all of this different formatting here. This is, you'll be read only, but you can look at it. Bastion Campaign work in progress. That link is literally right here. And then here's the spelljamming book that I made. That's on DMsGuild. We looked at that earlier. But yeah, so this is going to be on the DMsGuild eventually. Rules of the DMsGuild is that I can't give the content away to people freely. So, but I need to play test it. So anyone that's interested in utilizing these mechanics, you can join my Discord server and I can help you build your campaign or to figure out how these campaigns work for yourself. So here's the Discord community button. Free access, be welcome to join if you want to support me, pick up some of my books, or plug $1 into my Patreon if you want. But let's get back to work. So settlements are facilities of bastions. A bastion has to have a government structure, and it has to have a settlement facility. So those two things work together. The government creates the administrative and bureaucratic complexity to be able to handle a settlement of a corresponding size. So like we were talking earlier, a second-rank government can't properly govern a third-rank community because a second-rank government is only designed to oversee operations for at most 1,000 people population. A village second rank is 1,000 people. A town is 10,000. A city is 100 up to 100,000, and then a metropolis is more than 100,000. And so that becomes 5th rank. Like Waterdeep is a 5th rank community, which means that the Lords of Waterdeep together have to have collected enough Bastion points between them to have 41 points of Bastion points, and it's basically a 5th rank facility controlled by these 17th plus level wizards, which is exactly what Waterdeep is. So it actually mechanically works with the actual math of how the game has been presented. So if you want to check out last week's episode, what was it, episode 13, I think, we were talking about why high-level NPCs hand off bullshit tasks to low-level characters, just because that's the rank of difficulty that you're operating right now. But this literally builds mechanics around that in a Westmarch-style campaign where your team is controlling multiple groups of characters at different levels to troubleshoot complications that arise when you issue orders to your Bastion and they fail the ability check, creating a complication. Resolve the complication, open the path to complete the order as expected. Pass the ability check, no complications. Go about your way and do your own thing. Go be adventurers. We'll call you when we have a problem. So you can run 5 different teams. If you have if you were running Ravnica as a Bastion campaign and everyone decided that they wanted to be in House Dimir, then you would control House Dimir as players. And then you could have characters at each tier, 1st, 5th, 9th, 13th, 17th level, 5 different ranks of teams. So as you're attempting to accomplish different tasks through different facilities that operate at different ranks, like an observatory is 3rd rank. So if an observatory has a complication, it's going to be that complication is going to be at the 3rd rank of difficulty, which is going to assume 9th or higher level characters are going to try to resolve this thing. So that's why if you have like an observatory in your facilities, your 1st level characters could make use of them if the DM allows them to, but they might not have enough rank in House Dimir to make use of that observatory yet. They have to earn it through their renown and gain rank with the Bastion facility to earn access to these higher rank things. But if they create a complication, the DM could then decide that that is going to be a 9th level plus adventure because the observatory itself is 3rd rank. Or if you have 2nd level characters that the DM allows you to use the 3rd rank, you could decide to create a 5th level adventure, or explicitly make it a challenge that's too difficult for those 5th level characters, so they have to go slinking to their guild leader and say, we created a problem that's too big for us to fix. So that creates social complications for that 5th level team. Meanwhile, while they're getting flogged off in the background, activate a 9th level team to go resolve whatever that complication was. And then you can just do that through the entire campaign. So on a weekly basis, you create different complications based on what tasks you're attempting to accomplish as a guild. And then, depending on the rank of the complication, use that team. So you could be advancing 5 different teams at the same time. If you wanted to, if you had multiple complications at different tiers, you could run an adventure for each one of those tiers before you guys all decide, okay, now let's advance our Bastion turn. But like next Bastion turn, you can decide, I don't want to do any of these adventures. Let's just go ahead and roll through that and like skip that week and have our characters have downtime activity to get new spells, new magic items, new contacts, new map locations, whatever. And you can parse out your campaign over weeks of time, so you won't have the entire world going from level 1 to 20 in 10 days, which I've seen happen in campaigns like that. So this helps build in that sense of time where the players are deciding, are we interested in anything that's happening this week? No. Skip that week and advance all of our goals by another Bastion check to see how far along we get down the road to completion we get. So the players start to get more and more ownership over the world as they get more involved in the orders that they're issuing to Bastion, as they realize we can do a lot of shit with these Bastions if we lean into that style of game. So that's the idea. So now we know that the primary here is Sacristy. So we're going to put here as core purpose. I know it's inferior. Hold on. Let's just do this. Let's grab the whole document and let's go to format. Thank you. Text. And I want size, capitalization. Where's my font color? There we go. No, I want the color. Oh god, this thing is so clunky. It's so difficult for me to understand their thinking. Why can't I find the fucking font color? It's driving me crazy that's the wrong color. I'm sorry. I need to chew on this for a second. Format options. Thank you. Update normal text to match. No. Let's just no. I don't want to clear the formatting. Cut paste. Why can't I fucking figure this out? It shouldn't be this difficult, man. Fuck it. I'll figure it out later. Sorry, guys. I'm wasting your time. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have 28 Bastion points, right? So, okay, great. So we have 6, and then we have 3 in the government because the settlement's third rank because it's a town. It's got over 1,000 people, so that automatically means it's a town. So we have to have a third rank government, so that's going to eat up 3 more Bastion points. And because the core purpose of Dol Amroth's Bastion in the first place was to be a sacristy to that goddess, then it's also going to be... Where am I? I can see myself now. There we go. It's going to be third rank because that's the maximum rank of the community. The community is going to match this facility. So there you go, third. So that means I have 22 points left. At some point, okay, we're going to create a pocket, which are just spare points that we can spend on extra orders or to absorb damage if we get sabotaged. It's useful to have those extra points. So that takes us down to 18 here. We're going to maintain a lifestyle of some sort. And it's very possible that that Capital Rock could have a wealthy lifestyle, certainly comfortable. So I'm going to also grab 4 points here right now. So that's a total of 14 points already. So we're down to only 14 points left. So now we're going to roll some random dice. We're going to keep rolling randomly to see what other facilities are inside of Dol Amroth's Bastion, and if the team takes interest in it, they can start fleshing out who the NPCs are and like who the hirelings are, you know, and what kind of resources they're making use of, what are they building, blah blah blah. So we'll flesh all that stuff out initially, but the players can come in and start changing it if they take interest in Dol Amroth's Bastion. If they take interest in Capital Rock in general, they can start basically governing Capital Rock during their Bastion turns as ability checks, and then create their own complications that I will then build adventures from to run as a DM. So the Bastion turn is collaborative to create the narrative direction of where the world is going under the player's decision. And then I take that, I spin it, and put some English on it, make it cool, and then spit it back at them as here's a dungeon adventure, here's a bunch of kaiju who are attacking, and you have mobster issues over there. So those are 3 things that you can be messing with right now. Which one's most interesting to you? And then dive into it from there. So let's roll some random dice, see what kind of facilities we random into. We'll go look at what those facilities do, and carry on from there. So I rolled a 2, 4, and 12. So that's going to be 16. A 16 is observatory. Okay, so this has an observatory. How many points is that going to have? I'm going to put a D6 into it, and we're going to divide by 2. It's going to have 3 points. Observatory. Now take us down to 11 points left. Now we're going to roll another random facility. Observatory, we looked at this last week. You can go check that out. Or open up the document and do a find search for observatory and go look at it yourself. I have a bridge. It's a permanent bridge. They basically put metal posts into your bone and your gums, and then they create a fake set of teeth, and then they basically latch it onto the posts, and it stays in your face forever. But mine's loose for some reason. I have a dentist appointment next month, but if it gets too wiggly, I'm gonna have to go in early. But we'll see. But it's getting a little rattly in my mouth. It's starting to bother me. What did I roll here? I rolled a 2, 2, and a 12. So that's a 14. So what did I get over here for 14? A menagerie. Menagerie. D6 divide. Okay, that's going to be a 3rd rank menagerie. Which means that you have unnatural creatures, like monsters. You have monsters that have decided to work in your bastion or be part of your hirelings. And when players take downtime activity, they can train with them to become resistant to the type of damage that creature deals. Fun. That's going to take us down 3 more points. So that'll take us down to 8. And we'll roll another d20 plus 2d6 minus 2. And see which one we get. I got a 2, a 6, and a 14. That's a 20. Which is a scriptorum. Okay. And then what rank is that scriptorum? It's also 3rd rank. So are we catching a theme here? Scriptorums can create magic scrolls. And you can research magic and stuff like that. I think, yeah, you get a bonus to your research roll when you issue the research order to study spells. But you need a facility that you can study spells in. And the sacristy is not that facility. So let's see. That's going to take us down another 3, so that'll take us down to 5. Let's roll again. 6, 6, and 5. So that's a 17 minus 2 is 15. That's another menagerie. Yeah? Yeah, the dice like that. Okay, we're going to have 2 menageries then, which means more monsters. But it's only... Menagerie... Yeah, Menagerie 1. That'll take us down 1 point, down to 4. Let's roll again. 3, 3, and 4. That's 10 minus 2 is 8. Which is a garden. And it is 2nd rank. Down to 2 points. Roll again. Natural 20. Who cares? 22, 6, 26. Minus 2. Yeah, 2, 6, and 20. 28 minus 2 is 26. Which is oh my god, a teleportation circle. How many points is actually invested into it? Yeah, 3 points. Okay. Teleportation circle, there you go. Let's see. inactive. Hirelings have gone missing. There's a teleportation circle in the community in general that's been disabled, but we have one. I'm going to re-roll that. I'm going to override that. We're gonna nip that because we already have a teleportation circle in the town, and we created a complication. If we just have another teleportation circle, who cares if there's a complication or not? So let's nip that. Let's go with this instead. That is 22 minus 2 is 20. Another scriptorum. Let's not duplicate. I already duplicated the menagerie. I don't want to duplicate the scriptorum as well. I'm overriding. We're gonna go with 24 minus 2 is 22. A smithy. Okay, we'll go with a smithy. And what rank is it? Second rank. There we go. No, that should have been how many points? 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 21, 23, 27. And I'm out of pocket. Okay, cool. So let's see which one of these probably improve. So we have to roll for our the lifestyle level that we are maintaining for the community. This is the general level of safety and abundance of resources that are available to the community to trade with or to utilize to harvest and to craft and empower items with. So I believe the government increases the I think government increases gives you an extra die to roll when you're rolling for your lifestyle. So let's see if that's true. When issuing a trade order to acquire materials or non-magical items, you can roll an additional bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. And then you can govern a number of bastions and settlements of a rank up to the rank of this facility as detailed. Downtime activity, political influence. A character that spends a bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility, the government, it gains advantage on all charisma checks with hirelings and residents within a bastion or settlement that this bastion governs for a number of bastion turns equal to the rank of the facility. So nice to have a government. People look favor by default. You're their lord. It's not quite a democracy where they're just going to openly hate you. In these feudal type settings, it's generally the person in charge is somebody who has a lot of influence on people. I mean, you can use charisma with intimidate if you want to, if you're going to be a villain, but you can also be friendly and helpful to your community. Either way, you're going to get that bonus of charisma because you're utilizing the government to prop you up. So those are so we only get none of these grant us any bonus to our die roll when we go to determine what our lifestyle is. So I'm just going to rearrange these real quick just to satisfy my need for structure and order. Yeah, this thing's really bugging me. Let's see. Okay, great. So what we're gonna do is, we're third rank. So that means we roll a D. When we make a bastion check, we roll a D20 plus the rank, which is third rank. And then because we're third rank, our proficiency die is D4, D6, D8, D10, D12. D4, D6, D8, D10, D12. There you go. So we're third rank, so that's gonna be a D8. So I'm gonna roll a D20 plus a D8 plus 3. And we're going to see what level of lifestyle we hit. So I got a 7 on the die roll, so everyone's working together as a team really nicely. That takes us to 10 plus... Oh, fuck you. Fuck. I rolled a 2. So that's 12. And 12 is horrible. Hold on real quick. Yeah, that's a 12. So... we know that lifestyle is 10 to 20. The bounded accuracy curve of difficulties by rank is 5 ranks, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that's your bounded accuracy curve that corresponds with the curve of the bastion die the proficiency die plus the d20 plus your rank. That all works out very, very nicely on that curve. So the 5 lifestyles. So you have Wretched, which is like open war in your town, or like you're being attacked by monsters actively right now. That is a dangerous lifestyle. Like people are burning other people's homes down. It's not safe here. Squalid is, there's a lot of break-ins, a lot of murder, crime, but you're not outright being sieged at the moment, at least. So maybe you can find someplace safe to sleep. Poor is, hey, at least we keep evil out. You might not have a lot of food in your belly, and you might have a shithole, but at least something's not actively stabbing a spear down your rabbit hole to kill you. And then you have a modest lifestyle, a comfortable lifestyle, wealthy lifestyle, and aristocratic. So poor is the minimum level of security needed for a city or a community to actually feel like it's a settlement, that it's actually a safe place to be. Squalid and wretched lifestyles are, it is not safe here. So you have to for your settlement to remain alive, you're basically making a death save every time you're rolling a lifestyle die. So the poor lifestyle is a 10, and then modest, comfortable, wealthy, aristocratic. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So for us, what we want to be able to do is roll 3rd rank, which is a DC 20, because 3rd rank communities can produce 3rd rank materials when they harvest them to be able to create 3rd rank items for 3rd rank or 9th level characters. But we only rolled a 12, which sucks. So we're going to actually not maintain a lifestyle at all, 0, because our lifestyle is DC 12 equals poor, and we can at least maintain that with 1 point. We'll do that, but we'll take back the other 6, the other 3. So we're only maintaining a poor lifestyle right now, but we can maintain it for a full month, which means every Bastion turn that floats over, we get a certain number of orders that we can be issued. And if you're sustaining an order for a period of time, that order is basically tapped. You can't unless you cancel the thing that you're doing right now, that order is unavailable until it gets completed. So the higher rank you are, the more orders you can have active at the same time, but you can also spend spare Bastion points to issue additional orders, but you can only issue 1 order per facility. And you can only issue the Bastion itself 1 order. Like if you're trying to recruit more hirelings because you just got a new facility, you need to recruit people to get that facility. So to hire people and that are capable of operating that facility. So when you get a new facility in your Bastion, you then have to make a generic recruit roll, but the hirelings that are added to the facility have to be of equal rank to the facility. So a 1st rank workshop needs a 1st rank hireling, which only takes a DC 10 to fetch from something as small as a hamlet. But if I'm installing a 5th rank facility, I need a 5th rank NPC hireling, which I'm only going to probably find in a 5th rank community, which is a metropolis, because it has enough people to have that level of specialization. The DM could decide that there could be a crazy mechanic. It's like a 5th rank artificer in this small little hamlet that's just going. They don't want to be part of the big city life anymore. They just want to do. It's kind of like Doc in Back to the Future 3 when he goes back in time and he's building all this high tech shit out of 1800s materials. And like he's building higher ranked material than those settlements are really able to provide for him. So he's having to improvise by spending extra time and manufacturing these items into materials that he can use to create these higher level of complexity items than that settlement is capable of acknowledging. Like he's using 20th century technology in an 19th century community. You see that parallel there? It's actually really great. But your characters can act in that way as well. So generally, if you have, if your community only has a 2nd rank lifestyle right now, they can't provide the materials you need for a 3rd rank craft or empowerment. So like if I wanted to make full plate armor, 1500 gold, that's a 3rd rank task. The community where I'm in has to have iron supplies or mineral supplies in general up to 3rd rank for me to then build that into a set of full plate armor. If they don't have the materials, I need to find that material somewhere. I can establish a new trade route with another settlement that has abundant iron supplies that can ship them to us. That then could have all sorts of trade complications like bandits and shit along the way, like we were talking at the beginning of the adventure, or at the beginning of today's session. So we now have broken down what's going on with the community in general, and now we're going to go into orders. Let's go here. So let's go back up here to Hunter's Lodge. Nope, that's Crag Falls. Dolores Domain, thank you. But we have a huge pocket, so there's a lot of shit we can do. Orders, lifestyle. Poor. 12. Main sustained. 1 point. 1 Bastion point to sustain the poor lifestyle for the community. And what are the other orders that we're going to issue? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we have a government. So obviously we're governing, but you just automatically get to govern things. So you don't have to issue an order there. We already have the community is already harvesting materials themselves. It's harvesting fields and wood forests. Wood from the forest. This is Dolores Bastion. It's the capital of the region. Let's go with an order. Observation. Let's do. How am I supposed to structure this? Scout research. The order that we're going to issue for here in research is going to be, we're going to do research. We'll go maintain. You get 1 free order. You get a number of orders equal to the rank of your facility plus 1. That plus 1 is automatically going to be spent on maintaining a lifestyle for the community. So that basically means you have a bunch of free floating orders equal to the rank of your bastion. And our bastion is 3rd rank. So we can issue various orders. So we're going to use research through our observatory to gain information about the cold snap. There's a huge cold snap that the community is experiencing right now that's killing crops. So they're going to use the observatory to basically divine. It has this divination function that you can spend a bastion turn to verify, like to ask questions about a specific subject. And in this particular subject, we're asking what is the source of the cold snap. So that'll be a legend lore, basically like a contact other planes effect. Depending on how high they roll, they'll get a number of questions that I will answer truthfully to them for this community, for this bastion to understand what's going on. So the team can get information about something that they want to go attack sometime soon by asking an observatory or a spy network or a local pub or a library about information about a particular topic. So that's one of the orders. We have a total of 4. So research, observatory, gain information about the cold snap. That makes sense. Let's do recruit. Are we already issuing the recruit order to gather new? No, order, maintain, harvest. We're missing people in the teleportation circle. So we're going to go down here and we're going to issue order. Recruit. Hirelings for teleportation circle. And then we have a final order available to us. What's some cool stuff that we have going on in here? We got a lot of menagerie going on, that's for sure. We can be recruiting. We can be recruiting exotic animals to our menagerie. Is that something fun that we would do? It's up to CR1, 5 up to CR9. What rank? What CR is Quaddle 5e? CR4. So they could potentially recruit a Quaddle. Is that what they're trying to do? That's exactly what they're trying to do. Oh my god. How blessed be they? Oh, this isn't Silver Flame. This is Sovereign Host that we're talking about. Eberron. Animal monsters associated with Dol Ara. And dragons of red dragons, Okara facing Katasha, Gatekeeper, Dolara is sometimes represented as a red dragon, while the mockery is represented as a half-fiend red dragon. Interesting. So is she trying to recruit a red dragon? 6 on 6, that's amazing, yes. That means that there's a red dragon somewhere? Yes. That's interesting. I did not have that on my bingo card today. So, okay, great. Recruit order. Menagerie action. Attract a 3rd rank dragon, which could be up to CR9. So let's go look up red dragon. I wish they had their CR listed over here. That die doesn't do me any good. Adult? I bet adult's like CR13. Maybe a young red dragon. CR10. Oof, it's just out of reach. Yeah, CR17. Goodbye. Young dragon. I guess a wormling is the best we can have right now. Oh, that's legacy. It's all gonna be the same. CR4. Yeah. Okay, so that's the best we can do right now. I have no idea why they want it. CR4. Complications. So, we don't have a complication from our lifestyle. If we had rolled less than poor, squalid, or wretched, it would have created a complication like you are under attack. We're going to do our research observation to gain information about the cold snap. So let's go down and look at the order that you issue for research. Let's stay up here in these. Let's go here. Yeah, let's take this one down. Facility properties. Orders. Issuing orders. Craft order. These are all, there's 7 orders in the DMG. It's craft. Craft, empower, maintain, harvest, maintain, recruit, research, and trade. So we want to go down to, well, we're here at recruiting, so let's just do recruiting right now. So we're trying to recruit facilities for hirelings for the teleportation circle. That's 3rd rank. So it's a DC 20. So I'm going to roll a D20 plus D8. Do I get any bonuses to recruiting? Menagerie might give me a bonus. Let's go check that out real quick. Menagerie. Menagerie. When issuing a harvest order to acquire animal materials. Right. order recruit, you can issue the recruit order to attract a local creature to act as a hireling. So, okay. So, that'll work. Third rank. The creature itself, though, is only second rank. So that means I only have a DC 15, and it only requires a modest lifestyle. But I think we're going to push it to 20. And that's going to demand... It's a dragon, after all. It's going to demand a comfortable lifestyle. Actually, let's just play it by the book. It's a CR4, that's second rank. Let's give it a DC 15 to see if they'll be successful in recruiting a dragon. D20 plus 2 plus D8, and... Yep, that's it. I got a 12, 14, 16. Oh my god, just enough is enough. So, they will succeed in recruiting a dragon. If I had failed that die roll, the complication would have been it wants a better lifestyle because it knows what rank you're capable of producing and it wants a comfortable lifestyle. I'm actually going to go ahead and override that answer. Normally that would be it, but this is NPC stuff. This is the world that we're setting up, so I'm going to let it roll. I'm going to say equals 16, but demands comfortable. Oh, wait a second. This actually is a complication because they only have a poor lifestyle right now. I don't have to fudge the dice at all. It has to have at least a comfortable lifestyle. We have a poor lifestyle. So even though we could attract the dragon to be among this community, we aren't pulling the lifestyle that it wants. It has to have at least a modest lifestyle to accept an invitation. And we don't have that right now. So 16 will let's see. Fail needs a. Wait a second. Success, but cannot complete until comfortable lifestyle. And I can't just spend Bastion points to roll more dice. You can only roll one result, and that's the result you get. If it creates a complication, that's the whole point. Failing the ability checks is the point of the campaign. When you fail, it creates adventures. Otherwise, you're always just winning. And what fucking fun is that? You may as well just write a story. You want to be able to fail occasionally, so you want to push the type of tasks that you're attempting. Or in this case, it was an easy task, but we fucked up our lifestyle. So the place doesn't look good to the dragon right now. So I'm going to actually just do some BS editing here real quick. There. And now we're going to go with equals for how long am I going to maintain that for? Up to 4 weeks. For 4 weeks. For 4 turns. And then we want to research the cold snap, and we want to recruit hirelings for the teleportation circle. The teleportation circle itself is 3rd rank, even though you only have to spend 1 point to get a teleportation circle. You have to have 3rd rank because you can't get access to it until 3rd rank. It is a 3rd rank facility, which means that you need to have 3rd rank hirelings, which also requires a comfortable lifestyle to be able to attract them, even if you're able to succeed. So let's roll our D20 plus our D8 plus 3 and see if we can hit a DC 20 or not. And I just rolled an 11 on the die. I get plus 3 for my rank. And I rolled a 1. That's a 15. So I can't attract. And I create a complication. equals recruit hirelings for teleportation circle equals 15 complication. And now let's do the research observatory, gain information about the cold snap. So let's go now down to how does research work. Hey guys. Again, this document is available to anyone that wants to read it. It's read only until I publish it on the DMsGuild, and then it'll be a PDF and it'll be read only there also. But I can't let you just copy paste the thing because the agreement with the DMsGuild is that I don't give away this content or sell. I don't give this content, pay or not. I don't give this material to anybody else. So you can look at it, you can look at this document, but you can't copy any of it, right? So when we once we get through this process of designing the document, I'll delete this and then publish it on the DMsGuild. But when I publish something on the DMsGuild, I have 100% free preview. So you'll be able to read the entire thing in its final edited format with all the artwork, and we'll do all the artwork here on stream. I do artwork Monday through Friday in the morning, and then I do game design on Monday and Thursday nights and Saturday morning. Saturday morning, we're going to create color mana characters for that are athletes for Strixhaven's Mage Tower sport, which is basically like Magic Rugby. So we're going to make rugby athletes to compete in Mage Tower as a combat sport using 5e combat action economy in a PvP scenario where everyone is playing an athlete, and if there's offsides, the DM can flesh out the team, or it can be players versus a DM customized built team to work together to act as a combat challenge that doesn't kill you. So if you're playing a Strixhaven campaign, you can, if you want to scratch your itch on a combat, you can go compete in Mage Tower and basically use your characters to score points and beat up other players on the battlefield. And if you really wanted to get fun about it, you can get like one team of 3 players and a number team of 3 players, and then have a DM referee and run 100% PvP, team versus team, in a real like PvP environment that doesn't get your characters killed because it's just a sport. All that damage is temporary, and it's like hockey. There's 3 periods, and at the end of each period, you get all your hit points back. Really bugging me. All right, so recruiting creatures. Bastion rank, we're 3rd rank Bastion. We can, oh, what am I doing? No, I'm doing research, sorry. Research. Gathering information, that's where we're at. When you issue the research order to gather general information about a topic, make a Bastion check. The result of the check determines the number of questions the character can ask the DM about the topic of research. The DM will answer truthfully. So we'll make our check like normal, and depending on how high of a result we get is how many questions the players will be able to ask the DM about that thing that they're researching. The observatory specifically allows you to research using the observatory to study the stars and the movements of the gods, to divine information about something that's planar in nature. And we're considering the wild space around Eberron to be planar by nature. So that means we can use the observatory to find out about the mysterious cold snap that is affecting all the asteroids in the region, making it difficult to grow crops, and it's killing trees and stuff like that. So we need to get rid of this cold snap. Tell us about it. So now we get to use our observatory to find out. Let's stare into the heart of the cold snap zone to see what's in there. So that's what we get to do. So we're gonna roll our D8 plus D20 plus 3 like usual. And wait a second. Hold it. Hold on. We got some stuff. We have the observatory itself, but we have a scriptorum. I don't know if the scriptorum lends aid to us or not. So let's go check out the scriptorum. Normally I'd have this all written down on the character on the Bastion sheet, but I'm just kind of freewheeling it right now. Your Bastion has a number of spell glyphs. Oh, that's right. You create spell glyphs to protect your facility. Okay, no. Sacristy, I don't think that has anything to do with research. No, just downtime activities and orders. Nope, nothing there. So it's just going to be a D20. So like for example, let's go to Sanctum. When issuing an empower order to create a magic item, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. So if we had a third rank workshop, that's creating a magic item, and a second rank Sanctum, we do a D8 plus 3 plus the D20. The D20 plus 3 plus D8 for the Bastion being third rank. And this Sanctum is giving us a kicker die. Since the Sanctum in this example is second rank, it would add a D6. So when you roll your D6 and your D8, take the best result, not both. So you're increasing the odds of having a good result by rolling multiple dice, even though each facility could contribute a different size die. You're looking to see which of all those dice, which has the highest number. Keep that one, add it to your plus 3 and your D20 for a third rank Bastion. That way you stay inside that bounded accuracy curve instead of just like rolling 5d12 and completely blowing out the curve, right? Let's go to here. I'm knocking my screens around because I'm bumping my mouse. So let's fix that, and we'll go back to here and back to here. Okay, great. So, but we don't have that. We don't have anything that's adjusting our research check. So none of that's going to apply. So I wanted to explain why I'm looking for, why I'm looking at my facilities before I make these die rolls. I want to see if I have something that's going to increase the result of our die roll, or give us extra dice to roll to increase our results. But alas, earwax, I don't have any. So let's go back to our research. We're going to do our D20 plus 3 plus D8 equals... I rolled a 16 on the 20. I rolled a 1 on the D8. 17, and then plus 3 for third rank. That is going to be a 20. So I get to ask 3 questions. At the end of the Bastion turn, I get to ask 3 questions. That's how that works. Research. Cold Snap equals 20. 3 questions. Success. 3 questions. And we still have to roll the complication for the teleport. So that's the last thing that we need to do for this particular Bastion. Complication equals. So let's go look at our complication tables. This was the original version of this in Command of Guilds and Kingdoms. But then they came up with we were already building this before they announced Bastions for 2024. So we actually started this back in 2022, and then we built Spelljammer from it, and then we continued working on our Eberron adventure. Now we're circling back around to finish off the rest of the stuff. Spelljammer came out of the army section of the Guilds and Kingdoms, and now Guilds and Kingdoms is being changed into Bastions since 2024. It was the same sort of idea, but it was structured differently. There weren't formalized orders. It was just, the idea of orders was there, but WotC created the 7 order system for Bastion, which works perfect for this, absolutely perfect for the way that I want to do that. If I decide to become independent and build stuff on ttrpg and do Kickstarters and Patreon stuff involving a separate system using this Bastion system idea, then we'll find a different, whatever game system it is that we build it for, we'll use whatever system of resolution that they use and then restructure it to be like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, or however it is that other game structures stuff. We'll rebuild this concept with that game's mechanics and that game's scale for characters going from 0 to hero. So the format is good. It's just this one in particular is really good for 5e because I'm really familiar with 5e. I've been a DM since 1987, so I've been around all the blocks, and 5e is my favorite. It's such a good system. So let's roll. We have to first roll an event. We have to roll a Bastion event for Dolora's Bastion specifically. So that's just going to be a raw d20. And whatever we get, it's completely random. I rolled a natural 20. Okay, so my dice are burning hot today. Rival Collapse. This is for a Bastion, not the settlement. So for that Bastion specifically, Rival Bastion bankrupts and collapses. Gain 2 dice of Bastion points this turn. So we are flooded with Bastion points right now. We roll d8s. It says roll 2 dice of Bastion points this turn. So that's going to be A 3 and a 4. That's 7 points. Plus 7. Event equals rival collapse. Was this like a competing government? That's a line. No, not a rival government. Was there like was there some sort of political spiritual war between the Druid's Grove and Dalara's Bastion? Yes. So the Druid collapsed. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go down. Unique Bastions, Fell Tower Fortress, Abbey of the Sovereign Host. Seeking Holy Relic from neighboring community. Abbey of the Sovereign Host, which is Unique Bastion. Oh, no, that's not it. I have a roll down here. Give me a second. Oh no, it was under just the general bullshit that's happening in the settlement. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Significant rivalry between 5 gaining status. Scabbers Cove. Scabbers Cove attacked by Storm Giant Raiders. Settlement 1 to 3 are being influenced by Rizia. I know there was something else down in here. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. Okay, so we're gonna go back up. Never mind, I was wrong about the. I know there's a druid that's involved with Fell Tower. Because of the sanctuary. A sanctuary is a druid's grove. So Abbey of the Sovereign Host has clerics and a druid. Far Hope, 2nd rank. Trade seeking a holy relic from neighboring community. Is the problem with Fell Tower Abbey? Yes, it is. Where is Fell Tower? Hold on. Fell Tower is number 4. Fell Tower is over here. It's collapsed. It's gone bankrupt. It imploded. Does that mean Fell Tower is... They collapsed. Is there some sort of war between Fell Tower and Dalara's Bastion? No, there isn't. Okay, so they were taken out by external forces? Yes, they were. Oh my god, okay. So let's add into Fell Tower down here. Abbey of the Sovereign Host. And they're only 1st rank. Oh, interesting. Was it a higher rank and now it just collapsed? Was it Pirates? No. Was it Unseelie Court? No. Was it Frisia? No. Kaiju? No. Was it the 6? Yes. Let's go with recently destroyed from 3rd down to 1st.
authority, leadership is dead. Sabotage from the 6. So it's not okay. So yes, a rival. So it says here, allies. A rival Bastion bankrupts and collapses. Gain 2 dice of Bastion points this turn. Okay, so what this is translating into, these guys aren't enemies. What is happening here is the Redstone got Fell Tower got smashed in by evil god saboteurs. So the people, they don't have a facility anymore. It's low rank hirelings that don't have a leader anymore. So they all migrated over to Capital Rock to be part of Dol Ara's Bastion. So this isn't crushing, or in this instance, yeah, they were rivals because they were opposing parishes, right? But they weren't enemies, they were rivals. But something went wrong there, so now they're taking in all the refugees that are left over from that from that abbey being smashed. There's still some people there that are tending to the people and whatever on Fell Tower, but the majority of them are now migrating over here. So this sudden glut of additional people and all the stuff that they're bringing with them from the abbey is creating the bonus temporary points that we're seeing Capital Rock, Abbey Dalaro's Bastion is benefiting from right now. And those points are going to go away next turn. So they're going to need to spend them on something. But they aren't permanent points. So like you can spend them like on a lifestyle this turn, for instance. Or we could spend them on, like we could issue a whole bunch of additional orders to carry out a bunch of tasks. But these guys don't have a bunch of stuff to carry out right now. So this could be used at this rank. A Bastion point at 3rd rank is worth 100, 1,000, 10,000 gold apiece. And they've got 7. So they basically got 70,000 gold worth of resources flooding into this Bastion right now. That could be used to pay the dragon, because each point is worth 10,000 points, and it wants a comfortable lifestyle, which would be maintaining 3rd rank. So they're gonna burn these Bastion points to basically give the dragon a large purse to fake the comfortable lifestyle. That'll be how they solve the complication. Those points will go away. So they're basically going to give them all to the dragon, and then the dragon will be influenced to become an ally in the region. There you go. It could become an NPC, but it would be a 2nd rank hireling, like an adept or a spellcaster or a warrior from Tosh's Cauldron of Everything. The sidekick classes. This dragon would essentially become a sidekick, a CR4 sidekick, or like a level 5 sidekick. And then it could operate with the team if they wanted to recruit the dragon on to be part of their team, for instance, if that's how the campaign goes. Unless the team takes an interest in Dol Ara's Bastion as a DM, I'm just gonna let this idea hang here until it becomes relevant to the campaign to activate that plot hook and to start having that play out with what the players are doing. Or if they take an interest in this location, we'll immediately activate and make that onward. But currently, what will happen here is that they're looking to hire. They're still looking for teleportation circle. This is an ongoing complication that I'm not going to resolve until the players take interest or it's relevant to what's going on in the adventure of the campaign as a total. Then we tap that, we update that, and then we start rolling consequences and complications based on that plot point. Otherwise, it just kind of hangs until needed. But we're preloading. It's just like in a hex crawl. Like at the very beginning of the session, I was saying these Bastion campaigns are like hex crawls. that when you go into a new hex, you discover and fight and discover and spelunk all the cool stuff and creatures that are in that hex before moving on to the next hex. Or there might not be much stuff going on right now, so let's just travel through and find something interesting. Bastion campaigns are like that hex crawl, but we're moving through time on a week-by-week basis instead of across a map on a hex-by-hex basis. We're discovering things that'll happen in time as situations and scenarios and events and encounters that the players have inside the world trigger these different events in different communities. They become relevant, triggering a new potential adventure hook for the characters to get involved in, kind of like a community board or like a help wanted board that's occasionally having its things removed and replaced with new opportunities of higher levels to suit what the characters want to do. And they pick from what's there, you get rid of some of them, you add new ones on, and so they know that an opportunity will eventually disappear. Similar with this, once something starts running as part of the background of what the campaign is doing, it will resolve itself and be replaced with a new order or potential complication that needs to be resolved. You see? So that's the general event that's happening right now. And the complication that we have is what was the complication we had? Hold on, let me find out that complication again. It was recruiting from the teleportation circle. Complication. We don't know specifically what the complication is yet. The complication was in a recruit order. So now we know what the order. We know the general events that's going on with this facility right now. In Dol Alra's Bastion, they're trying to recruit teleportation circle specialists for the community that it is governing. So they're kind of helping the community out in that sense. But they have a complication. So we're going to go down to the recruit complications, and we're going to roll a d6. There's 7 orders in the Bastion system of DM. So when you have a recruit issue, when you have a complication with recruiting, you can't solve the problem with recruiting. It's going to be a different type of order that you have to issue to resolve the problem. So I'm going to roll a d6 to find out what the complication is around. I rolled a 4. Maintain. The target of recruiting demands a bonus reward. Issue the maintain order to provide additional accommodations for the new recruit, or create an adventure to acquire exotic treasure to appraise the new recruit. Well, we've got all these extra points that we picked up, didn't we? So not only are we going to be able to attract the red dragon, but we're also going to be able to attract teleportation circle stuff. What's the chances of that dragon being the teleportation specialist? It's 100%. So that dragon is going to become our teleportation specialist. That's fucking fantastic. So yeah, that's going to be basically a dragon NPC that's going to have fifth level spellcasting as a young dragon. That's awesome. I love that. See, it's just the random tables doing what the random tables do. 3rd rank suit supply, result 25, 4th rank. Okay, great. Oops, I'm in the wrong section. Here we go. The complication. I'm going to go down here. Complication, recruit. Recruit, T-port, circle. And complication. Recruit, red dragon. Need better lifestyle to recruit. Need a bonus payment to recruit. Both of these will resolve with the 7 bonus points gained from event to hire red dragon as a teleportation circle hireling. Plus, it can operate out of the menagerie. So if the characters want to get resistance to fire damage, they can spend time with the dragon, and it's going to basically get the characters comfortable to being scorching hot. If you've seen Farscape, there was an episode when they went to Psychic Specialist that went into people's fears and made them immune to those fears, or to gain resistance to psychic damage, or to heal a family trauma background, like in the case of the Argo. So it was a really cool, but that is directly transferable in as an example for how this menagerie works. So what time is it? It's 8:15. We've just completed Dol Ara's Bastion. I actually wanted to cut sessions short today. So it's a third rank facility, which means it's a third rank Bastion, which means it's going to have 3 unique facilities, one of which is the capital. I believe that's how we did this. So Crag Falls, second rank, so it should have 2 special facilities. Our unique bastions. It has Hunter's Lodge as a unique bastion. Polly's Potion Factory is a unique bastion. Oh, and then we have Onatar's Anvil, which is a third. So, and then Redstone is second rank. Sorry. Yeah, second rank. Crag Falls, second rank. And then if Red Crag, is it Redstone? Thank you. Redstone is also second rank, so it should have the Governing Bastion plus the Mining Refinery and Grain Plantation. There we go. So 3. So it's your rank plus 1 is the number of unique facilities and the unique bastions, and the free unique bastion is the Government Bastion. So I'm going to randomly roll here real quick what the other 2 bastions are going to be, but I'm going to cut stream now. And next week, when we pick this up, we'll figure out what those other 2 are going to be. So let's. I'm going to randomly roll on the table, and we'll make this our last thing. So let's go to our facilities. This isn't a governing facility, so it can literally be just anything. So let's go down to, where's my mouse? There it is. So we'll do a D20 plus 2d6 minus 1. That'll give us a range of 1 to 30. I rolled a 2, 4, and 18. So that's going to be a 22. So third rank category, 22 is a smithy. And what rank is it? It could be up to third rank. It is second rank. Blot, and then we need 3 of them. So let's roll another one. 5, 4, and 9. So that's a total of 13. 18 minus 2 is 16, which is a sacristy. Ooh, another sacristy. And what rank are you? First rank. I think I just found out where those refugees from the Abbey are going to settle in a new sacristy. See how this all just kind of works together? It's the campaign just... It's random tables to build a campaign, but it provides a structure inside of the Bastion mechanics from the DMsGuild to have these organized Bastion, these ability checks, these skill challenges, basically, to achieve different tasks that you're issuing orders as. So it's 10 plus 18. 28 minus 2 is 26. I keep coming up with a teleportation circle. Okay, well, okay, great. Well, let's do that. Let's actually pluck this teleportation circle from here. Since we don't have any points invested into it right now anyway, we can pluck that out. Let's go down here. Teleportation circle. And that has to be third rank, but it doesn't have any Bastion points right now. Yeah, third rank destroyed. It is currently destroyed. It is not functioning, so we're gonna have to spend time repairing it. It was a third rank Bastion. It has to get the Bastion has to get to at least half hit points for it to be able to work again. And the number of hit points that it has, it's a Bastion. So it's going to have D10. Third rank is going to have D10 plus 20. So let me grab a D10zer here real quick. It should have 28 points. 0. We'll do 0 out of 28 Bastion points. And third rank, we'll go like this. Destroyed. Requires 14 BP to be operational again. Sorry, 15. You can't be bloodied. There you go. So we need 15 Bastion points pumping into this thing, and currently it doesn't have any. So we're gonna have to push like the first 10 points. It has first rank operations. Up to 20 points, it now has second rank operations. Sorry, it'd be 5 points, then 10 points to second rank operations, and then 15 points to get the third to have be bloodied to start operating again as a third rank Bastion. Excuse me. So that is going to be a problem. Requires repair, and since we're operating as a 0 Bastion right now, we need someone to come in and kickstart it. So we're going to use some of those Bastion points that the Dolomara's Bastion got, those 7 points. We put 3, because third rank, into the teleportation circle complication. We put 3 points into the dragon itself. We double dipped it because it's resolving 2 complications that we had. That would technically leave us 1 point left over. 2 points if we're going to call the dragon second rank, but it's going to upgrade to third rank because of the teleportation circle. Actually, bullshit. We're going to go with third rank for the teleportation circle, and it is just a young dragon, so it is only second rank, so 2 points there. That's 5 of the 7. So we're going to go. Let's go ahead and chew those up. 3 T-port hireling. 2 is dragon ally. Pocket 2. Spend one of those points. Let's spend both of them. 2. Kickstart teleportation repair. With 2 points. So that's going to be 2d8. It's first rank round. It'll be 2d4 points. That's going to get back. So we have to put 1 point into it. Sorry, it'd be 1 point. Kickstart teleportation circle. Once you have a single Bastion point, you are a first rank Bastion. If you're dropped down to 0, you have to rebuild yourself to half or more, to more than half of your Bastion points to be operational again. Get out of being bloodied. And then, so we put 1 point into it being operational again, and then we put the other point into issuing the order to repair. And since it only has 1 point right now, it is first rank, and D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, it can repair D4 points right now. So I'm going to roll the old D4 and see how many points it'll be able to repair. And report 4 points. Awesome. Repair 4 points. To T-port circle. So the teleportation circle has, for this turn only, 1 point. That is that temporary point of mana, or that temporary Bastion point that we got, that goes away at the end of the turn. It's a temporary point, so we only use it this turn. So that goes away, so we have to use another point to issue the repair order. We rolled 4, so that means at the end of this turn, we'll be up to 4 out of 28 Bastion points, and we have to have at least 15 to be up and running again. 4 of... Yeah, let's go 4. We know what it means. There you go. End of turn equals 4 BP repair. Because we resolve the die rolls at the beginning of the week, the Bastion turn, because we have 4 game sessions per Bastion turn. So we roll up front to know what the complications will be, what will be successful, what needs to be sustained, so we can tell what could happen during the next 4 sessions that could either enhance or fuck those things up. And they also create the adventures. Like, we know there was a complication with hiring teleportation circle people. If that was something that the players had decided to get involved in when they rolled it, they're like, we're going to go get that teleportation guy. That's our thing. So make an adventure out of that. Okay, great. What do you guys think that adventure would look like? Well, where can we get a teleportation circle? And then we start, then we just start improvising and like improving and creating this story about where we might be able to get that teleportation guy from, but we don't resolve it. The players help the DM to point the direction of where they want this complication to go as their adventure. So then I take that idea and then I brew it up into something that they'll be able to do next week. So this first session of the month, or whenever, would be the Bastion turn to create these complications and then to ideate with the players to create these plot lines that are going on. Then they could then decide, well, let's dive into this specific Bastion and see if there's something there that could help us with that. Now they're getting involved with like Darola's Bastion and getting involved in this teleportation stuff that's going on. Now they're taking an interest in that town. It's like, yeah, let's load those things up. Let's create some complications for us. Let's turn some of this stuff into adventures. So for the next 3 weeks after we do that setup, for the next 3 weeks, they just knock down all of those different encounters and scenarios. They could be multi-encounter adventures. They could just be one-shot social encounters. They could be like an exploration and a combat encounter. It can scale out to when it feels like it's been resolved. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It's kind of episodic. So we'll be able to build out those scenarios, and the players then knock them down, and we'll have up to 3 of them because there's 3 weeks, but I'll prep like maybe 6 or 7 things that they can spool out from there. If they knock stuff down quick when we have more time, let's crack open the next event and let's roll through that. So I'll build things that may resolve like anywhere from, say, 1 to 3 hours. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour chunks. So the team could potentially do 2 or 3 things, 1 to 3 things per session over a course of 4 sessions, and then that closes out the Bastion turn. Next, and the last bit of that last turn, we resolve all of the die rolls and then spool over into a new Bastion turn the next round. So that's the idea of it. So when we come back, we're gonna flesh out the sacristy, the teleportation circle. We already know what's going on with teleportation circle. It's absolutely wrecked. So it has nothing going on right now. We're gonna have to we have to literally rebuild it from scratch. But it has the potential. It has the remnants of a teleportation circle, so we can rebuild it. So we can flesh out what should be in the teleportation circle facilities. We can't, like, as a structure, right? Like barracks and shit like that to protect it. We'll figure out what the sacristy is all about. We'll figure out what the smithy is all about, and then we'll be done with that. So hopefully we'll be able to finish those. We'll be able to build out those 3 things next session, which will be on Monday. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back tomorrow morning to continue Eberron adventure artwork. So if that's interesting, like and subscribe so you can check in on all my artwork that I do on live streams every day. And then on Saturday morning, again, we're going to be we're going to be game designing for Strixhaven in 5e using the color mana system that we publish on the DMsGuild, creating athletes for Mage Tower, which is the Strixhaven rugby college sport that we built into a 5e game engine, into a 5e combat encounter. So I'll show you that on Saturday. So if you think that might be interesting, like and subscribe. If you want to check out how more of this Bastion system works and roll through these scenarios so you can get the gist of it or ask questions, tune in on Monday and be welcome to join my Discord community down below, which is right here. And here's a bunch of books I've published already. And here's the Spelljammer book that I published. And I'm going to punt out of here. So thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.